We need to come up with a full migration design in order to define the disaster recovery elements. And if we're going to change their development workflow and test workflow, it needs to work with a Phase 2 future cloud solution, not a cloud-based support for data center-based development workflow. A lot of this becomes direct mappings like Cloud SQL to replace MySQL. Cloud Memory Store is a managed Redis service, so that can replace Redis. Cloud Data Store is a natural fit for the mobile back-end data service. Compute Engine VMs for the lift and shift of application servers. If they don't want to use cloud storage for static content and serve it through CDN, then we could use Cloud Marketplace to get a pre-configured Nginx server. We could use Kubernetes for the microservices. That starts to play into changes to development and test, and since it will now be a containerized workflow. Load balancing for traffic routing and availability. App Engine for applications, possibly also using containers. Local SSD and SSD persistent disks for VM host, and if they initially lift and shift MySQL instead of using Cloud SQL. Cloud storage for backups, multi-regional buckets as part of disaster recovery. Cloud Dataproc instead of Hadoop. BigQuery could be used for the real-time trending and analytics. We don't know how data is currently stored on their Hadoop cluster. If the data is in HDFS, it can be moved to cloud storage, and if it's in HBase, it can be moved to Cloud Bigtable. Cloud VPN for connectivity to the current environment. Firewall rules for security. CSEC if additional encryption control is needed. And finally, we can use Cloud Marketplace to rapidly deploy a Jenkins service for container development. The whole infrastructure could be templated into Deployment Manager or perhaps Terraform so that we can spin up entire development and test environments with their own clusters and so forth. This will create the scaling and isolation they want and meet the needs of Phase 1, development, test, and disaster recovery.